Hey guys, today I'm doing a review on the Bayoneta Premium Horsehair gloves. So stay tuned. Hey guys, Carlo here, and today I'm doing a review on the Bayoneta Made in Mexico Premium Horsehair boxing gloves. I got mine in this beautiful pastel light blue and yellow colorway. 14 ounces lace-up closure. You can also get this in Velcro, multiple different sizes as well as colorways. The glove is made of full genuine leather construction, handmade in Mexico, and it utilizes a combination of horsehair and foam over the impact surface to give it a medium to soft density. And quite frankly, this is one of my favorite features about the glove, which I'll discuss here in a little bit more detail here in a little bit. Bayoneta is actually the boxing collector Edgar's personal brand. So if you go to theboxingcollector.com and you check out his website, he sells all types of different Mexican-made boxing equipment, but Bayoneta is his own personal brand. And this is going to be my second pair of Bayoneta gloves I've tried, and now I'm doing a review on them. And I was really impressed with these gloves. From a design standpoint, the first thing that really stood out to me with these gloves is that these really remind me of Grant boxing gloves from several years ago. I did a review, if you guys can recall, a couple years ago on a custom pair of black and orange Grant boxing gloves. I got those in 12 ounces and I love those gloves. I no longer have those, but that design of that Grant glove, I believe used the same manufacturer as these Bayonetas, which I believe is New Sporting. So New Sporting was responsible at a period of time, and I don't know who does it for Grant now, because I know that Grant has probably used different manufacturers throughout the years. So it's just depending on the time period of when you got Grant's is, which would determine who was the manufacturer. But I feel that at that period in time, I think New Sporting was actually making gloves for Grant. And I feel like this is pretty much cut from the same cloth, so to speak, in that regard. Has the same shape, design, profile, size, thumb positioning. Obviously there's going to be variables. You can interchange the type of the padding that you use, orthopedic foam, horsehair, latex. I mean, there's a whole list of different types of foams you can utilize. But if I were to compare this to any glove I've used in the past, this definitely reminds me of Grant. Even the wrist support when it comes to this glove is very heavily padded. And to me, again, that was something I noticed with my previous Grant gloves. And you can see how it has that kind of that tapered look, that very parallel running thumb with the glove. So again, that's what these gloves really remind me of. These are a 14-ounce glove, and to me, these run kind of on the compact side. It's not a tight fitting glove. So when I say compact, meaning the overall profile and the size of the glove, when you put it on, it is very comfortable, but you don't have this gigantic glove in terms of padding. You don't have it overly padded on the back of the glove. So you can see it has more of a slim profile to it in that regard. The design of the glove is very simplistic, which I like. I like the fact that you just have that Bayoneta patch right here on the wrist support. I do feel that it would be nice to have a logo here, a Bayoneta logo, just something clean on the back of the glove to give you a little bit more of that designation. But it still looks clean with the Bayoneta. It says made in Mexico right here with that cloth patch. The leather on here, I'd say, is more on the I guess you can say kind of like a semi-gloss kind of finish to it. It's not matte or satin. I think it's like a step above in terms of shine, above satin. So you do have that nice quality Mexican leather. It smells really good, has a really strong smell to it. You also have the welted seams in between the stitching. You do have a double cuff for this glove, so you have the wrist support with the stitching in between on the back. It does say 14 ounces right there. You do have this nice soft silky satin liner on the inside of the glove. I do like this liner a lot because when you slide your hand into the glove with your hand wraps on, you don't get a lot of resistance. It's not like the Grants where it has a little bit more of a rough canvas style liner. This is more of a softer silky liner on the inside of this glove. Coming to this side, you also have the Bayoneta logo, and it's basically a B with a bayonet. You can see that's actually like a bayonet or a sword or knife, if you want to call it, that's inside that. So kind of a unique looking design, double stitching, white piping. And you also have that pastel light blue right there, and the split thumb with the pastel yellow and blue on the thumb, a yellow attached thumb. Really nice size grip bar that's nice and firm. More welted seams, a little bit of a ventilated hole on the thumb, but nothing on the palm side. And there you have it. So very nice looking glove. Now quality wise, top notch. One thing about this glove, it is slightly overweight. They're advertised at 14 ounces. They came in at about 14.8, 14.9, which, you know, I'm not really surprised of at this point. You know, there's a lot of Mexican made gloves that just tend to be overweight. For me, when it comes to these type of training gloves, especially at, you know, anywhere between 12 to 16 ounces, I'm not really concerned with weight, to be honest with you, unless it's really drastically off, like 2 or 3 ounces over or under, then that's a big concern. But for me personally, when I'm using it in my training, I really don't notice it in terms of, you know, if it's half an ounce or an ounce off, to be honest with you, it just doesn't bother me. But just something to take note of in terms of the quality of the weight of the glove. But you can see the stitching looks good, the leather looks really nice, no issues with imperfections or the foam breaking through on these gloves. You know, the attached thumb looks really good. The stitching all looks symmetrical. Have a little bit of a little thread right there. Not a huge deal. Where the thumb meets the index finger. Show you guys the inside. Looks pretty good overall. The back of the wrist. That outside edge where the welted seams are at. The padding on the back and on the front side of the glove is extremely well padded. I'd say that there's about maybe an inch to an inch and a half of medium density foam padding on the back of the wrist. And I'd say about an inch on the inside of the wrist that comes up to right about there, as well as on this side. You can see how it kind of tapers in right here, but very well padded. So if you're looking for something with excellent wrist support, this definitely will serve that purpose. And you can see it's a very well balanced glove. It's not top heavy or bottom heavy. I'm literally just grabbing it on this back piping, and you can see there's literally no fold to it. And that's attributed to there being a good amount of wrist support. But you know, the glove overall, very nice, excellent quality, just slightly overweight in that regard. When you put the glove on, for the comfort of the glove, sliding my hand slides in easily. I like that liner on the inside, it's very nice and smooth. Thumb positioning is perfect. You can see when I make a fist, I don't have to worry about the actual tip of the thumb collapsing too far down. And you know, for a 14-ounce glove, this fit my hand perfectly. If you have longer fingers, bigger hands, I would probably go with 16s in this particular model. That will fit you a little bit better and give you a little bit more room, but it's definitely not an extremely roomy glove. I mean, I've done reviews on other Mexican brands, Gil, which is a really solid glove as well. The OG Casanova gloves, and those tend to be a lot roomier. It just has a lot more of a boxier shape to it. So you have like almost like this empty void in the hand compartment with that, and you definitely don't get it with these gloves in that case. I mean, these fit really nicely. There's a very nice soft foam that lines your hand on the inside as well as on the back of your thumb to just give you a very comfortable feel. So the gloves feel very comfortable. There's no pinch point, no pressure on the thumb. The piping feels really good right there against the thumb. It doesn't pinch down on the fat part of my thumb. You can see that the glove is very well broken in. I mean, even when they were brand new and I got them, they had a nice broken in feel. And again, that's just something I love about that, is you don't have to go through this whole process of hitting the bag, hitting the mitts, using them as sparring to really loosen up the leather. They come pre-broken in, which I really like. Positioning of the grip bar is where it needs to be at. And just like Grant's, again, that's what another thing I kind of figured as far as manufacturing goes, that it's probably the same as Grant at some point in time, is that you have this felt liner that covers the stitching right here, and that's something that Grant used on their gloves as well, on the interior of the glove. Obviously you can't see it in the video, but there's a piece of felt that kind of rolls up over the stitching, and again, it gives you that nice comfortable feel. So when you really roll and you make a fist, that felt is on this portion of your fingers, and you can really roll and make a tight fist. And for those of you that have these gloves or have had Grants, you guys know what I'm talking about. But overall, extremely comfortable. with these gloves. Protection and performance, another great feature is this punch surface. The foam and the horsehair combination is perfect. It's probably one of my favorite combinations in terms of the type of foam and the way it compresses down. You can see just has this excellent, nice flat punch surface. You land on those two front knuckles every single time. You don't have to worry about your hand kind of being in one of those positions and you're landing like that. I mean, you're rolling your hand up and you're making a nice tight fist, and you always land right there because of that nice flat punch surface. The combination between the foam and the horsehair, you can see it's not a super soft glove like the Everlast MX, where there's relatively zero padding and protection, where you punch and your knuckles just go right through, pierces right through the glove. It's almost like you have no padding whatsoever. With this, there is a layer of protection, and the horsehair also does a good job at giving you the feedback, but when you make contact, I mean, it's just extremely satisfying on the heavy bag, whether it's a dense heavy bag, it's a softer filled heavy bag, especially on the mitts. When you're hitting the mitts and you're doing your mitt work, it's just satisfying. And that's one of the best features of this glove, is that satisfying feeling of connecting with your target, and that flat punch surface definitely gives you that. And you can see it's not overly bulky. You don't have a ton of foam covering your knuckles, so you still get the protection and the shock absorption you need, but the main thing is you know that you're landing and you're punching with the proper mechanics, and you're landing right where you need to land with these gloves. It takes away any guesswork in terms of one, being able to make a really nice tight fist, and two, landing on how you're supposed to when you're hitting the bag or hitting the mitts or hitting your sparring partner. So definitely love the way the padding feels, and is very well balanced in that regard. Cost-wise, these gloves are $289. Keep in mind that these are the premium versions. They have the other Bayonetas that are $199, that are not the foam horsehair, but to me, this is an excellent glove. Even at the price point of $289, I think it's well priced for what you're getting. Full leather, made in Mexico. I love the padding system on here. They're extremely comfortable. It is more of a boutique glove, so if you do go to the Boxing Collector's website, just like a lot of other Mexican-made gloves or Mexican-branded gloves that are not Reyes, so obviously Bayoneta, Gill, Zeppol, Casanova, Nakali now, No Boxing, No Life, I mean, there's so many of these smaller brands, New Sporting. It's kind of a seasonal type of glove. And by that I mean, you know, they don't really have two stock colors. They always just kind of keep in stock with all the sizes. They typically kind of make these gloves in batches. So, you know, if you do see a color you really like and they have your size, my best suggestion is to buy it, because you might not see that colorway in that size or closure, whether it's lace up or Velcro, for a very long time, or you might have to custom order it, where right there and there it might be ready to be purchased and ready to be shipped out. So do keep that in mind, that it's kind of a seasonal type glove. You know, the colors that are available, the sizes, the closures. So it's one of those things that you know, I always suggest kind of keeping it tapped in with their website to see what they constantly have. That way, if there's something you really like or a colorway, you don't have to wait very long for them to manufacture it, because they have it ready to go. But cost-wise, definitely think it's very fair at $289. A beautiful glove. You know, you'll know that most likely somebody else won't have these gloves that you have in terms of the colorway and the style and the sizing. So that's good. You kind of get more of a custom one-off style glove. So to me, the pros of these gloves is going to be the quality, the construction, really everything about this glove. The thumb positioning, they're very comfortable. The padding is excellent. I love the way they look. You know, you get great variation and variety in terms of colors, sizes. You can get them in lace up and Velcro. So overall, there's a lot to like. The only con I can say with this glove is that it's going to be a little bit overweight. You know, for 14 ounces, they came at 14.8, 14.9. And I guess you can consider the accessibility. I don't know if that's considered a con. That's probably more in the middle in terms of, you know, if there's a color you really want, you have to custom order it, because it might not be readily available if there's something in particular, just because it's smaller boutique brand compared to some other bigger names out there. But other than that, I would really just say it's going to be it being overweight. But I really love these gloves, so I'm going to continue to use these. The padding on here is amazing. That's probably one of my favorite features of this glove, especially using it for mitts and hitting the heavy bag. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Bayoneta premium horsehair boxing gloves. I'll see you guys later. Take care.